So life has been happening and keeps happening and happening and happening and happening. And I just noticed that I haven't posted in a while. I was like, oh my gosh, what's been going on, right? I've been so busy with life. I had lots of stuff which just kind of came up, like health issues. Not issues, but health issues, I guess. Yeah. So I was having a problem with my leg, which was so swollen for a while. Then I decided to go to the doctors to get that checked out, because I was like, okay, by now it had been gone for like 3 weeks, and I was like, by 3 weeks it should have gone away, right? But it wasn't going away at all. Oh, and I decided to say, okay, let me go and get that checked out. That's when we found out that my blood pressure was really, really high. So I ended up getting sent to, because I had gone to like a walking clinic, so they ended up asking me to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. I was there for like a while, was getting everything checked out, because it was like really, really high. It was like in 220 somethings, and sometimes it will go up to like 230 somethings over whatever number what is, right? So, and that's really, really high, right? Because blood pressure, when it's normal, supposed to be like in 120s, right? Oh, that's the normal range, right? So when it's over 140, then it's really, really high. It's hypertension, right? So yeah, so that's what I had been dealing with. Then they're trying to find out what's causing it, and they couldn't really find what's wrong, because they had to check everything in to see blood clots, because my legs were swollen and all the stuff, right? And then pretty much trying to figure out what's happening, right? So probably it's like genetics, because having a family history of that, or being it like age, and also that having, well, the other doctor said maybe because I had like high blood pressure when I was pregnant before, I'm more like at a higher risk of having blood pressure down the line, right? So they got me in to take some medications, some more medications to help bring that out. I had to go through like going a specialist, a cardio specialist, to find out what's going on. So I was on monitors, had to have those monitors at home to measure, to see, how's the blood pressure like when I'm at home, right? So I had to wear this whole thing, the monitor, the whole day for 24 hours. Such a pain, right? To have to go through all that. And then one of the doctors, because I had to go for 2 weekends, I had to keep going back to the hospital because my blood pressure wasn't going down. I remember one of the doctors, he said, and doctors will give you some recommendations of things that you need to do which might help you to bring down that blood pressure, right? Like reducing your salt intake, reducing your caffeine intake. So less coffee. I was like, oh my gosh, I love my coffee. What? So I have to reduce my intake, right? So I was laughing with myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, the moment someone tells you that you can do something, that's when you want to do it more. I was like, well, is this like a food addiction or what, right? Because now I also have to, because I have to reduce all the salt intake, I have to reduce all the processed foods, so that I don't have to have all those nitrates in them and all those added salts in all those processed food, right? So in a way, it's a good thing, right? Because that's really changing my diet to have more healthier kind of diet, right? But at the same time, it's almost like, you're getting restricted, right? But at the same time, I'm fighting. I'm like, okay, what more reason do I need to have for me to actually work on my own self and my health and my diet, right? And this is actually forcing me to having to make those changes, right? To have a much healthier diet, not just for the blood pressure, but also to help to lose weight, right? Because one of the doctors actually said, hey, if you lose weight, that might actually help with reducing your blood pressure, right? Or normalizing your blood pressure, right? And he was laughing at all, like, making some funny joke or making light about the situation, saying, hey, if it was easy, you would have been thin right now, wouldn't you? I'm like, I know it's not that easy, right? But they're like, try to have like at least 30 minutes of exercise a day to incorporate in your daily activities, so that you can try to reduce the weight, right? And that will help with your blood pressure. So then now I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, I know I have to do all these things, and still fighting with myself to say, one, disappointed that I have all these health issues, right, that I have facing now because of, one, probably my weight and genetics and all this stuff, right? but at the same time too trying to find that motivation to stay strong to make those changes, right? It hasn't been easy because it's a whole life change, right? That I have to change all those things, and I'm fighting with myself to say what's wrong with me and why can't I just do all these things, despite knowing that one, losing weight will be good for my body, two, it'll be good for my blood pressure, right? And I want to be around for my kids and all the stuff, right? So I just have to keep on working hard on that and making the changes that I have to do. And despite all these things, when I looked at stopped on the scale, I was really disappointed with my weight. I was like, oh my gosh, really? Really now? But I just have to focus and really put more effort, I guess, and keep on working on this. Because one of my other motivators is I don't want to be on medications for a long time. I hate taking medications. I absolutely hate taking medications. And I know they have a place and purpose, but at the same time, I would rather have more natural way of working on this to bring my blood pressure down in a natural way. And one of that is losing weight. Oh gosh, so I have to really work on that. So it's now coming to the point where like, how badly do I want not to be on medication, and how badly do I want to make those changes, right, to have a healthier life and not have all this medical stuff, because it wasn't fun at all spending all those nights in hospital for that, right? It hasn't been fun at all. So, and having all these medication changes and all the stuff, trying to find the balance and all the stuff, even up to now nothing is really bringing it that much down, right? So I have to try this and see if this will be the answer to stabilize my blood pressure as well and bring it down, because I don't want it to cause me more problems down the line, because you know what they say, right? Blood pressure is the silent killer. Because I didn't even know I had all this until I went in for my leg, right? And then find out that I have blood pressure, right? So who knows how long I've been walking around with high blood pressure. So I really have to come to the point of actually do something about it. So that's my update. So yeah, so this surprising blood pressure thing, hopefully, it has to be a motivator now to make me change, right? So if you have any tips of how to naturally reduce or take care of your blood pressure, let me know down in the comments. Share with me your tips of how to reduce blood pressure. I'm willing to try anything, right? Because I don't want to be on medications for a long time, right? So yeah, so definitely, because one of the doctors who I spoke to, he was really truthful and very truthful. You hardly see some doctors who are quite truthful, right? It's like, hey, let's try all these things before you permanently become have to be staying on this medication. Once goes, yeah, the pharmaceutical companies are going to make money out of you, because once you start all these medications, that's it for life. You have to take this for life, right? I'm like, no, I'm too young to be taking this for life. I don't want to make all these pharmaceutical companies rich with me. No way. So I have to put on that effort. So I'm going to start now doing those 30 minutes exercising a day, making sure I'm reducing my salt intake, reduce my coffee. I love my coffee. I have to have more, maybe a decaf coffee. I wonder. Yeah, that should work, right? It'll take that little edge of wanting to have coffee. So yeah, I will have to do all those changes, right? And drink lots of water and be able to, reduce that blood pressure, hopefully. So that's my update. So, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to keep track of this, keep this regularly and do this regularly, and not forgetting, because yeah, I know life happens, it keeps happening. So yep, that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.